Have you ever heard of François Mackandal, the iconic figure in the resistance against colonial oppression in Haiti during the 18th century? This is a name that may not ring a bell, even for avid history enthusiasts. Yet the story of Mackandal is one of bravery, defiance, and a relentless pursuit of freedom that deserves to be told. Born around the mid-18th century, likely in West Africa, Mackandal's life took a dramatic turn when he was captured and transported to Saint-Domingue, today's Haiti, as a slave. But even in chains, his spirit refused to be shackled. Harnessing his knowledge of plants and medicinal herbs, he became a charismatic leader among his fellow slaves, using his skills not only for healing, but also for crafting poisons against the colonizers. He was the spark that ignited a wave of rebellions and acts of sabotage against the oppressive French colonial rule. François Mackandal's story starts, like many others, with a journey from freedom to slavery. Born around the mid-18th century, François Mackandal likely hailed from West Africa. The precise details of his birth and early life are shrouded in mystery, a common fate for countless souls swept up in the brutality of the transatlantic slave trade. What we do know is that Mackandal was captured and forced into slavery, ripped away from his homeland and transported across vast, perilous oceans to Saint-Domingue, a place we now know as Haiti. Here he was thrust into a world of backbreaking labor, under the relentless Caribbean sun, working on the sugarcane plantations that fueled the French colonial economy. Mackandal's early life as a slave was undoubtedly harsh and unforgiving. Yet even in the face of such adversity, glimpses of his indomitable spirit began to shine through. Stories suggest that he was not just a survivor, but a man of keen intellect and curiosity. He began to notice the stark injustices of colonial rule, the glaring disparity between the lives of the slave masters and the enslaved. This growing awareness would later become the cornerstone of his resistance against the oppressors. It is also during these formative years that Mackandal began to display a remarkable understanding of plants and medicinal herbs. Whether this knowledge was a vestige of his African heritage or skills honed out of necessity in the harsh environment of the plantations, we can't be certain. But it was this expertise that would later earn him respect among his fellow slaves and fear among the colonizers. Mackandal's early life was a crucible, a testing ground that forged him into the charismatic leader he would become. It was as if every hardship, every injustice he faced, stoked the fires of resistance within him. From the depths of despair, Mackandal found resilience. From the throes of oppression, he found a cause. Yet it was in these harsh circumstances Mackandal found his calling. His story is a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who refuse to accept the chains of oppression, and an enduring testament to the power of resistance. Mackandal wasn't just a slave. He was a leader, a healer, and a rebel. As the sun began to set on the 18th century, Mackandal started to rise from the shadows, emerging as a beacon of hope for his fellow enslaved peoples. His charisma was undeniable, his influence palpable. He wasn't just another face in the crowd, he was their leader, their guide, their friend. He stood tall, not with physical stature, but with a spirit that refused to be broken, an inner strength that couldn't be quelled. But what truly set Mackandal apart was his knowledge of plants and medicinal herbs. He was a healer, a master of nature's secrets, using his skills to soothe the wounds and ailments of his people. Yet this knowledge served another purpose too. It was a weapon, a tool of rebellion. Mackandal was a craftsman of poisons, a silent, deadly force against the colonizers. His concoctions weren't just remedies, they were declarations of war. His first acts of rebellion were subtle, almost invisible. He began sabotaging plantations, disrupting the colonizers' operations in small but significant ways. But it wasn't long before his resistance against the French colonial authorities became more overt, more daring. He organized rebellions, leading his people in acts of defiance that would shake the very foundations of the colonial rule. With every act of rebellion, Mackandal's influence grew. He was no longer just a leader among the slaves. He was a symbol, a beacon of hope in their fight for freedom. His actions were a rallying cry, inspiring his fellow slaves to rise up against their oppressors, to fight for their rights, their dignity, their lives. Mackandal's actions were starting to echo far beyond the plantations. His spirit of resistance was spreading like wildfire, lighting up the path towards a revolution that would forever change the course of Haitian history. In 1758, Mackandal's fight for freedom came to a sudden halt. His years of rebellion and sabotage, his tireless fight against colonial oppression, culminated in his capture by French colonial forces. The very people he had dedicated his life to resist finally cornered him. The pursuit had been prolonged and relentless, a testament to Mackandal's cunning and resilience. But even the most resourceful of heroes can fall. Hauled before a court of colonial authority, the charismatic leader was subjected to a swift trial. The proceedings were a mere formality, the verdict a foregone conclusion. For the colonizers, Mackandal was a menace, a thorn in their side that needed to be removed. For the enslaved people of Saint-Domingue, however, he was a beacon of hope, an embodiment of the fight for freedom. The court's sentence was as ruthless as it was predictable. Death, a public execution designed to serve as a deterrent to others who dared to dream of freedom. The method of execution chosen was as brutal as it was symbolic. Mackandal was to be burned alive on a pyre in Cap Français, the heart of the French colony. As the flames rose around him, Mackandal remained defiant, his courage unwavering, his resolve unbroken. He met his end with the same bravery that had defined his life, a final act of resistance against the oppressors. His death was a tragic end to a life of struggle and defiance. But it was also a powerful testament to his unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom. Even in the face of certain death, Mackandal did not falter. He did not beg for mercy or renounce his beliefs. Instead, he embraced his fate with a courage that was nothing short of heroic. But even in death, Mackandal's influence was far from over. His life may have been extinguished, but his spirit, his message lived on. His story, his fight, echoed through the plantations, inspiring a new generation of rebels to continue the fight for freedom. Mackandal's legacy was just beginning. Mackandal became more than a man, he became a symbol. A beacon of hope, a rallying point for resistance, and an enduring emblem of the struggle for freedom. His influence reached far beyond his own life, inspiring other revolutionary leaders and shaping the course of history. Toussaint Louverture, a figure often hailed as the father of Haiti's independence, was deeply influenced by Mackandal's legacy. Born into slavery himself, Louverture's leadership of the Haitian Revolution was imbued with the spirit of Mackandal's resistance. His strategic brilliance and diplomatic acumen, combined with his commitment to abolish slavery, led the Haitian Revolution to its ultimate victory. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, another towering figure in Haiti's fight for freedom, was also inspired by Mackandal's courage and determination. He led the Haitian revolt to victory against France in 1804, making Haiti the first independent black nation in the world. This monumental achievement was a testament to the seeds of revolution sown by Mackandal. But the impact of Mackandal's actions was not limited to these iconic leaders. His spirit of resistance permeated the Haitian society, inspiring countless slaves to rise against their oppressors and aspire for freedom. His knowledge of plants and herbs, used both for healing and crafting poisons, became a symbol of the slaves' resourcefulness and defiance. Mackandal's story resonates with power and significance even today. His legacy is not just about a man who dared to defy an oppressive system, but about an enduring symbol of resistance and the struggle for freedom. His courage and determination echo in the hearts of those who continue to fight for justice and freedom worldwide. François Mackandal's story is the story of courage, resilience, and the unyielding fight for freedom. His legacy remains a source of inspiration and pride for the Haitian people and for struggles for justice and freedom worldwide. His spirit lives on, reminding us that the flame of freedom, once lit, can never be extinguished. Today, Mackandal's story continues to inspire. Born into a life of bondage in the mid-18th century, François Mackandal, a figure of courage and defiance, emerged from the shadows to challenge the oppressive colonial regime in Haiti. His knowledge of plants and medicinal herbs became a tool of rebellion, a means to heal his people and to craft poisons against their oppressors. Despite the harsh consequences, his spirit remained unbroken, sparking a flame of revolution that would engulf the island. His audacious actions and unyielding quest for freedom laid the groundwork for the Haitian Revolution, inspiring future leaders like Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines. His name became synonymous with resistance, his legacy a beacon in the struggle for justice and dignity. Today, his impact endures not only in the heart of Haiti, but in freedom struggles worldwide. François Mackandal, an unsung hero of resistance whose legacy continues to echo through the annals of history.